Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. Today's video is actually a foundation wear test over the Hourglass Vanish liquid foundation. I'm so excited to share this with you guys because I just honestly love Hourglass with all my heart, and it's my favorite brand of all time. So there's going to be a demo and a wear test. A little bit about this foundation before we start. It retails for $56, so it is pretty pricey, but Hourglass is a luxurious brand. There are 32 shades. I have the shade Porcelain, which is fair with a neutral undertone. The coverage is full, the finish is natural. It's for normal, combination oily skin. If you have dry skin, they don't recommend this. It's free of parabens, and this product is vegan and cruelty-free. It applies like second skin, creating a smooth and flawless complexion, light reflecting, microspheres blur, and create a soft focus finish. This formula is waterproof, transfer proof, and sweat proof, so there are a lot of good claims about this foundation. So yeah, I actually have it on my skin right now, so let's get on to the demo. I'm so sorry for the AC. Please bear with me through this video because I don't know when it's gonna turn off. So I'm gonna prime my face with the Veil primer. This is the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. I'm gonna try to use all Hourglass products today. Hourglass said that you do not have to use a primer, but I'm not like that. I have to use a primer, and I have a normal to oily skin. If you guys are wondering about my skin type, it did change. It used to be dry and normal, but now it's oily and normal because I usually get oily around my T-zone now, which is very weird because I've never produced oil in my life, but you know, skin changes. So here's the Vanish foundation. It's a very unique shape. I've never seen a shape like this before on a foundation, and it's in a glass bottle. It was really hard picking out my shade because the reference photos were very dark and yellow, so I had to guess and use the description on Sephora. I chose the shade Porcelain. It was very hard matching myself because the reference pictures weren't that great in my opinion. So here's the shade I chose out. Porcelain sounds really light, but I think it's gonna work for me. So I'm gonna apply it in small sections, and I'm gonna do half my face with a beauty blender and half with a brush. Wow, I only used a little bit, and that kind of covered half of my cheek area. So this foundation shade is not a bad match. I was really scared that it was gonna be pale. You don't need a lot. A little goes a long way, and it definitely is buildable to a full coverage because it's already covering a lot right now. I hope this foundation doesn't cling onto my nose. I have that problem with every single foundation I wear, so it's not like a super big deal, but I just hope that this is the one that doesn't do it. And I don't put too much under my eye because I do wear concealer, but I hope you guys could tell this side is Porcelain and this side is my natural face. Definitely covered up my dark under eyes, and it looks great on the skin. It doesn't feel too tacky. It's a little sticky, like a tiny bit, but that's not a problem at all. The foundation isn't going into my fine lines, and I haven't even set it yet. I honestly don't know how many pumps I've done, but apparently you only need half a pump. Thought this foundation was gonna be a little too pink for me, but I think it worked out. So with a brush, you definitely get more coverage, and I don't see any streaks either with a brush, so that's awesome. And honestly, same results with a beauty blender and with a brush. I hope this foundation doesn't oxidize. On my hand right now, it looks like it is a little bit. It's having like an orange tint. Goes on the skin very smooth, no tugging, not hard to blend at all, and I really like the coverage. So I have a blemish right here. I'm gonna try to focus you guys on it. I do have dry skin around there, so it is clinging to my dry spots on my nose and my pores. Not a big deal because this is like a fresh zit that I tried to pop, so I'm not too mad about that. For concealer, I'm gonna use the Jouer Chiffon Concealer. Only a little bit. And for my blemishes, I don't really mind having them showing a little bit because if I pile on the concealer or foundation, it just doesn't work well on my skin. So this is what my skin looks like with the foundation, not setting it yet. So far, a little bit tacky, and it blended well into the skin. Now I'm gonna set my face with the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder, my favorite powder. And I just take a tiny bit because I do have creasing under my eye, so I don't wanna accentuate it. And this powder is awesome. It just makes your skin look so flawless, and it keeps my oils controlled. And my forehead, where I usually get oily. This powder is so finely milled, it just blends right on top of the skin. It gives a little bit of a sheen. And now I'm gonna set my smile lines because I know I do crease a little bit. So I'm gonna finish off my face off camera, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so this is my finished face. The foundation looks great, honestly, and the only problem I have is if you have dry skin, this is definitely not the foundation for you. My skin everywhere around my face is normal, and then my T-zone is oily, but my nose is very, very dry, which is normal. I've always had a dry nose. As much as I moisturize it, it's always gonna be dry, and use exfoliators, it's always gonna be dry. So it's, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's very patchy on my nose, especially right here where I got my pores. It's just very cakey. Ugh, and it looks gross. But it isn't as bad as my other foundations, so I'll give it that. But definitely don't recommend this if you have a lot of dry patches. The foundation is full coverage, but it feels very lightweight and good on my skin. It's not nasty. So that's really shocking, actually. For the rest of my face, I use the Ambient and Locked palette. I use these two shades as my bronzer, these two shades as my blush, and then highlight. I absolutely love this. If it comes back in stock, definitely get your hands on it. It is worth the money. I also use the bronzer shade in my eyes too. I just love Hourglass so much. This looks like a nice, fresh, everyday makeup look for me. So it is $9.25. I'm gonna see how this foundation wears throughout the day and take you guys with me. I'm actually gonna go do a client's hair right now, and then after that I'll try to check in with you guys and see how the foundation's doing. So far it looks great everywhere, and I like how it looks, especially from afar. But we will definitely see how this is gonna last. So I will see you guys in a couple hours. So I don't have my G7X with me. I'm filming on my phone. Just an update on the foundation. It looks okay. Like, the foundation looks like it's sitting on my skin a little bit, and it kind of went into my fine lines even though I did set it. It's not horrible, but definitely if you have dry skin, I don't recommend this. I don't know if you guys could tell, but my nose is extremely cakey, and my smile line as well. This foundation doesn't look like it's sinking into the skin, but it doesn't look bad, so for now it's okay. Okay, so I ended up taking off my makeup and I went straight to bed because I was just exhausted, and I wanted you guys to know my end thoughts. So the foundation ended up becoming really patchy on my nose, which was expected because my nose was extremely dry. So especially if you have dry skin, I do not recommend this foundation whatsoever. Even Hourglass doesn't recommend it to dry skin. But everywhere else, my skin looked pretty decent. It looked like it was kind of sitting on my skin, but I wasn't too mad about it because it didn't look bad. Um, but for $56, I'm gonna have to say this is a pass just because it is pricey, and I feel like you could get better results with the Maybelline Superstay, because the Superstay is kind of like a full coverage foundation, and it kind of gives off the same finish, like that natural matte looking. So definitely check out Maybelline Superstay. I feel like that's a way better foundation than this Hourglass one. It hurts me to say because Hourglass is my favorite brand. So yeah, I hope this review helped you guys out, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and shout out to Zena for this thumbnail. I'm gonna put her Instagram down below. Please check her out. Bye!